Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at my larger kind of a raft style penjing planting. This is a Portulacaria afra, and a couple videos ago I did work on my smaller one, but this is the second one I've ever planted, and it's a little bit bigger than the other one. So today we're just going to give it some maintenance pruning, just kind of get in here and see what's going on. Don't think I need to do a lot of structure work to it. It's just what I'm working on now is just trying to keep the pruning in shape just so I can increase the ramification and then eventually start building a nice. So that's what we're going to work on today. And for this one, I'm going to try out a new pair of shears. I picked these up on Amazon. I always like kind of searching to see what you can find, and these were on sale. They were a little cheaper than my other shears that I've got. And here's the package they came in. They're made in Japan, and the blades on them are really really sharp so far. I did a couple test prune clips on some trees outside, but a little bit smaller than, like, here's my normal pair. A little bit shorter, but not too much, and nice ergonomic grip on it. But if you want to check them out, there's a link down below. But like I said, I'm going to test them out and kind of share what I find. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's take some of these back. And like I usually do when I'm pruning something that's kind of been growing and a little bit overgrown, I just kind of give it a rough profile prune just to get it back in shape a little bit, and then kind of go for a little more refinement beyond that once I get there. This just kind of gets everything out of the way so I can really start looking at the tree. Yeah, that one got pretty thick. I could probably start a few new trees with the cuttings off of this, but I don't know if you saw my recent video of my bench tour outside. I don't need any more trees. They're pretty crowded the way it is, so probably not going to be starting any new Portulacaria cuttings for a bit. But yeah, kind of talking about tools. You know, you can buy some bonsai shears for, you know, over $100. My budget doesn't allow that, and I'm sure a lot of people probably in the same boat. I don't know. So I'm always trying to explore, you know, different tools and different ways of taking care of trees. But one thing that I have found, you know, you can get cheaper things, you know, like I don't have gin pliers. I just use the old pair of needle nose pliers and stuff. But one thing that I have found is if I can find a really good pair of shears for affordable price, it just makes the whole pruning experience a lot more pleasurable, because that's pruning is kind of the action, or I guess technique, that you do the most on taking care of trees. And you know, if that's not enjoyable for you, you know, that just kind of ruins the whole experience. So I really like finding tools that make it a little more pleasurable. Like I said, so far these guys are super sharp. Hope they stay that way. Probably could sharpen them, I guess, since they're not stainless. But I like the way the handle feels in my hand. Sometimes when I'm doing a lot of pruning, these aren't quite as comfortable. Just because the way my hand fits in the holes there. But this one so far, you know, with the little thicker handles on it, feels pretty good. All right, so now we've kind of got it somewhat in shape. Let's see what we've got going on. Trying to decide what, you know, like my other penjing, the top's kind of ramified enough to where it's just all one nice mass. It just kind of flows. This one, I haven't really decided what I want to do with it. It'd be nice to have an overall kind of a dome, or, you know, loose triangle shape to it. But these two are kind of the same height right now. I could probably bring this one down and just kind of get that to really ramify out, to where this just kind of slopes up and then back down on the other side. Bring this back a little bit. Go ahead and bring this down. So some of these internodes got a little too long anyway, so get these pruned back, let that kind of branch back out with some thicker branches. Or not really thicker branches, but thicker growth, you know, where the internodes are a little closer together, and more branching, just to get a more well-developed pad. And this over here can probably come way down. See, this guy back here is kind of long. Yeah, some of these internodes, because it's in full sun, as you saw at the beginning of the video, but some of these internodes were there from the indoor growth over the winter. So once I trim these back, they'll grow back and be a lot closer together out in the sun. A little weed here. Get rid of that guy. I'll take this front back. Even a little more. And this isn't, it's far from being done or even close to a final shape, but this is just kind of what it takes, is constant pruning. And I call it, I just let the tree speak to me, just kind of see where it kind of goes and what I can do to enhance it a little bit. At least my vision anyway. This branch growing down, so we'll get rid of that one. This back is nice and thick out here. That looks good. Doesn't look too shabby from the front either. I kind of like that little stair step down little different clumps, and I could probably develop this into a pad, then have some separation in here. So yeah, I think it's got some decent bones to it. Just have to continue to let it grow and fill in. It'll get there in no time. Just love having the trees outside in the summertime. They just really grow super fast. I think that's pretty close to what I want to do today. This one's kind of growing down. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. This branch growing down here. Let's get that out of the way. Sure, I don't cut my finger off while I'm doing it. Not really sure I like that. It kind of comes down like a V. Guess I could wire that back up, but then I'd probably need to get rid of this a little bit. We'll go ahead and take that down now. I'll leave it there for now. Yeah, I still have some, this is congested a little bit over here. I guess I probably could wire this up, but I think that would take a lot to hold that in place, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to kind of let it be what it is. I could probably take out this branch. That would help. I could reduce some of these and maybe have a little bit of separation here in these pads. Take this down some. Be nicer if this one was up a little bit like that, and that way we'd have that separation in here, but it's just not wanting to do that, which is fine, I guess. As I said, today is just kind of a maintenance prune, just kind of knock everything back and let it grow out again, and we'll continue to refine it as we go. One thing, I don't think I like this branch this low and hanging off the edge of the pot, so I think I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I think that's better. Maybe it looks a little bit more like a tree over there. And some of these lower sprouts, I think I'll get rid of those. There's one growing out the back. Go ahead and get rid of that one. These are kind of coming out to the back a little bit too far, so just take that back. I need to, as I'm looking at it, I need to fill this area in here. I need to let some of these continue to grow back. Fill that in, but that's in the back side, not as concerned with it. And it'll eventually get there. I may, when I set it back out on the bench, I may spin it around, put this a little bit where it gets more sun, and that'll help kind of pull these and fill that in. Yeah. Let me go ahead and trim this little succulent up over here. Just gonna keep it trimmed back to where it looks more like a bush. Straighten this up. Yeah, and this succulent here, when I planted it, it probably wasn't any bigger around than that, maybe like a 50-cent piece or a quarter or something, but it's almost getting too big to where it kind of blocks some stuff. I think I might move this guy over just because he's kind of hidden. He can sit over there and enjoy his little cup of tea or whatever he's drinking there. Yeah, that looks a little better. I think we'll leave this succulent in here for now. But once it starts getting too big, I'll probably repot it into something else and put another little succulent in there. I just like having those in there because it kind of looks like little bushes or trees. Just kind of adds to the feel of a landscape. Yeah, I think that might just about do it for today. So let me give you a quick spin around there. There's the front. There's the left side. There's the back. The right side. And back to the front. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.